Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about fighting a sword and shield man with a poleaxe. Okay, poleaxe is basically an axe head on the pole. You can hit with the axe face over here. Usually on the back side here, there's either a spike or a like a hammer surface, so that you can smash with this side. There's a spike on top here so that you can thrust, right? And there's either a spike on the back here, or again a metal ball. So again, you can also hit with the back side. Okay, one of the great advantages of the poleaxe is you've got two hands on the weapon, and you've got the weight, the mass of the weapon at the end. So between the two, you can hit pretty hard with this thing. Okay. Now this is a weapon simulator that I actually hit people with this. So this has a rubber head on the inside, but even with the rubber head, I mean, if you don't have good armor on, I mean, this thing hits pretty hard. Okay, so its advantage, its power. Its disadvantage is that any attacks that you make have to be defensive in nature, right? Because here's the thing: I've got a weapon over here, right? But I don't have a shield, so like 95% of my body is exposed. Okay, I have to block with this weapon as I'm attacking. I can't just attack the legs, okay, and allow myself to be hit on the head. That's something that I need to consider, because if the shieldman blocks this with the shield, then they still have their sword free to hit me someplace. Okay, so you have to attack in a defensive manner. Okay, so those are the strengths and weaknesses of the poleaxe. Let's quickly talk about the shield. Okay, so with the shield, the big advantage of this is I got a huge part of my body covered, okay? And also my offense and my defense are separated. So I have disconnected offense, defense. I can block with this while attacking. So I can attack at, I can block a headshot and attack at the leg simultaneously, okay? So that's the big advantage with a sword and shield. You have a separated offense and defense. A large part of my body is covered. So now we're going to talk about fighting with a poleaxe. When I'm fighting a shieldman, what I'm trying to do. The thing to understand here is that the shieldman does have the advantage to the extent that if they close in, all right, look, you see this pole over here? If the shieldman can close in and place his shield on the weapon, it's really hard to swing that weapon. So if the shieldman can close in, now he's able to swing because he's got that disconnected offense defense. Meanwhile, the poleaxe, the guy with the poleaxe, it's very difficult for him to move his arm. Let me explain. So with the poleaxe, right? If this is a shieldman over here, right? He's got a shield, right? This is now a sword over here, right? If he's able to close in on me and place his shield on my arms, it's really hard for me to move this around. So obviously I'm going to try to step back and fire a shot, but he's also going to try and close in on me. So we're trying to fight at two different ranges. When in the poleaxe versus shieldman fight, right? Poleaxe versus shield, I want to stay in the medium range, right? I want to stay about here and fight from here, while the shieldman wants to get in close, shut down my ability to move this thing around by placing that shield really close to my weapon or on my weapon, and then striking me with his free weapon. Okay, so that's the strategy of the shieldman. Now, this looks like it's a this is what I call a medium range weapon, because most of the time if I'm fighting this, look where my hands are. Right there, I got one hand back here, one hand here, so I have about as much reach as a sword. So when my hand's over there, you can see I only have a really small reach advantage over most swords, and some single-handed swords are a lot longer than this, so there's really no range advantage. Let me put this down. Okay, I can occasionally slip my hand, so I can come out, I can let my hands slip over here. Now, if I do that, basically, I need to recover really fast. See how I can slip my hands, but usually I got to come really back. It's really hard to basically bring your hands together like this, come back and take another shot like that, it just requires a lot of torque. So usually if I'm going to take a shot from there, I'm going to come back here, you know, and I'm sliding my hands like that. So temporarily, I can let my hands slide down, but usually I got to bring it back, and then I can attack with that. So your hands move back and forth on a poleaxe, okay? So let's talk about what I want to do now to the Shieldman. The Shieldman, again, he's got that that disconnected defense and offense. What I want to do, the way I fight a Shieldman is, as he's approaching me, right, I want to take this and I'm going to be hitting him. First of all, I'm holding this on my left side, because normally if I'm fighting another polearm, I'm holding, you know, if I'm right-handed, I'm holding this in my right hand. Well, against a right-handed Shieldman, I'm going to switch to my left side. The reason why I'm switching to my left side is because, you know, this is the shield side, that's the weapon side. I have a lot more options on this side. If I come to this side, all right, now I got a lot more shield on that side. If I try to cross my hands over like this, you know, now, you know, my ability to hit is not as powerful as if my hands are like this. So that's why it just makes more sense to swing like that. Now, you know, right now it seems like it's really easy to switch back and forth from, you know, left hand leading, right hand leading. However, if you got gauntlets on, that's not quite as easy. So usually if I'm facing up against a right-handed Shieldman, I'm going to immediately switch to my left side, and for the most part, I'm going to fight him, you know, with my left hand leading. Okay. So what I want to do is I'm going to work this side, high, low, high, low. I'm going to be hitting him really, really hard. So like I said earlier, the strength of the Poleaxe is its power. It hits really hard, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start swinging at this guy really, really hard, and I want him to know that I'm going to be swinging hard. He's going to block this with his shield. The way he's going to block that, all right, so now I'm the Shieldman, right? So the Poleaxe is going to be attacking on this side over here. The power of the strikes is such that I cannot just sword block it. I need to bring my shield over. And the more powerful the strikes are, that I feel that they're coming in, the more I'm going to have to commit to bringing that, to almost punching that shield out. And if I strike hard enough, what's going to happen is the shaft of the Poleaxe will also hit this shield hard enough and actually push it back. So for that reason, as a Shieldman, right, I want to push this forward and also reinforce it with the sword. So I'm going to double up on my defense because that Poleaxe, you know, is coming in that hard. So that's one of the things that you really can't simulate unless you're fighting with a type of a weapon and armor that you can actually hit hard. You're not going to be able to simulate this, right? So if you're doing this unarmored, you know, nobody's ever going to have an incentive to move their shield up there, and sword block it and double up on the defense. You know, if you're trying to do this with really light armor, if you're doing this with full armor and you're swinging hard, it's going to force them to really overcommit to that block. Bring it up here, also double up with the sword defense, and that's really important. Let me put the sword down for a second. So as I was saying, I'm here. The Shieldman's coming in. I want to strike him really hard, high and low, high, forcing him to really overcommit to blocking to that side, because he knows I'm hitting him so hard. He's going to also use his sword for defense, which means I'm tying up his sword. If he has to use both his sword and his shield to block my blows, it means that he's not hitting me with his sword. So that's one of the first things I want to do. I want to take his offense out of the equation as much as possible. I want him only blocking. I don't want him attacking. All right, and I'm going to be working high, high, low, because I also want him to, you know, stop moving that shield all over the place. And what's going to happen is, as he starts overcommitting to blocking more and more that way, what I'm going to do is, at some point, I'm going to use this side of my Poleaxe to hook, right, to hit that shield and push it up as far as I can, like that. And what I'm hoping to do here is push it up far enough over so that I can actually get a thrust through into his leg or into his hip or into his stomach area. Now, if he pushes back, right, then what's going to happen is if he's pushing back, then I'm going to come around and hit him on that side with the axe head, okay? So that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to bring that shield over as much as I can to that side. Let me do it with this one again. Right, so if there's a lot of hard incoming blows up here, right, you're going to force the guy to bring his shield over here. Look what's starting to open up on this side over here, right? So by forcing me to overcommit to that side over there, I'm opening up a gap on this side where you can get the other end of the poleaxe through the spiky part, right? And also by bringing my shield over this way, it's also cutting down on my ability to strike back because I cannot cut through my shield. Normally, if I'm fighting like this, right? So I have, you know, I have my offense. But if you force me to bring my shield here, now you're kind of limiting my ability to attack a little bit, right? You know, I mean, I can still throw some shots, but I don't quite have the variety of shots available to me if my shield is all the way out here, because I know that there's these really hard blows coming in that I really have to push out because I don't want to have to hit this, get pushed back a little bit and hit me on the head. Let me explain what I mean. So with the axe head, you can see how this sticks out over here, right? So basically, you know, see right now, you know, if you look at it over here, see how it reaches behind the shield? So this guy can push this out, and that axe head can still get behind there and make contact and still get hard. And also, if you hit it, you see how that shield moves? So the haft is hitting the shield, all right? And if he's not holding that shield strong, it's going to push it back, and then the head's going to come in and it's going to hit the body. So by striking really hard, you're really forcing them to overblock, right? So as I'm striking here, boom, 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 boom. At some point, I'm going to bring that there, flip that over, try to thrust through, right? And then from there, come back and strike again over there. Okay, so that's how I fight with the poleaxe against a shieldman. In the manner of speaking, they're really simple techniques. They're very basic. I don't do too many complicated things. Usually when I'm fighting with a poleaxe against a shield, I'm fighting in the SCA heavy rattan combat. That's one of the few places where people actually have enough armor, okay, and suitable weapons that you can hit people with full power with a weapon like this. Now in the SCA rattan, sometimes you'll see people wearing plate armor. They're wearing heavy helmets. We're all calibrated for male armor, okay, and for a Norman nasal cap. So even though we got, let's say, like 9-10 pound helmets, we're calibrated for like 2-pound helmets, right? Something that the Normans would be wearing. Same thing with the armor on the body. Even though you might see some plates, it's male armor. It's not plate armor that we're fighting against, okay? So the SCA is really a good place to fight with polearms. Now, in the SCA, you cannot hit below the knee, right? All the shots have to be above the knee. So the one thing that would change that in reality, if I was fighting somebody and the legs were a target area, I would be going high, low here, high, although I do have to get a little bit closer to hit the low legs, but that would also be a target area. Also, if I happen, let's say he's moving in on me, all right, what I can do is, first of all, if he's moving in on me, I can push with the axe head. Okay, because that's one of the things I can do. I can actually, because remember, this is also a spike over here. As the axe head curves up, that's also a spike. So if somebody's running in on you, you can basically thrust at that leg. You're probably not going to be able to hit him with this point, but you can probably catch with this point and trip him up as they're running in. Or if they're in a static position and you miss the leg, you can also pull back. All right, so you're going to get this part of the axe, behind their calf or behind their knee, which is going to hurt a lot. So that's the only thing I would add, outside of SCA fighting that would apply to this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you got any comments, put in the comment section. If you're not a member, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon.